Hello everybody, welcome back. Another little edition of fishing with me, I suppose. As you can tell by the lovely sound, the ground is proper wet. In case anybody's watching this at any different point in time, we've had all the storms, Storm Owen, Storm whatever the one that was after him, every single day, not even weekend day, but basically every single day has been grim and horrible. And there's a local fishing group here which I'm a part of, and they all post what they're catching. And I'll tell you one thing, that's what turned me off it, really. Guys they were documenting their sessions 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever, for codling and maybe a little like loads of whiting. That's just such a headache. So that demotivated me completely. But here today, the weather's nice. It's a lovely evening. The seas are quite calm and there's no rain or any of that messing. So it should be quite a nice one tonight. And we'll see how we get on, of course. But yeah, the whole month of January for me has been a nothing. It's the 30th today when I'm filming this. And this is the only time, basically all of January, that I've gone doing the bait fishing. I've been trying to, throw the spinning rod a couple times and do whatever that way. But I also know that in January, casting my spinning rod around and trying what I can do with that is just pure optimism, and a little bit too optimistic. So optimistic that you'll start wondering, why you're there in the first place. God, I'd rather be at home. God, I'm hungry. God, I'm thirsty. So, God, please allow there today to be some fish and make this little bit worthwhile. We're coming down to the spot now. I'll turn the camera around when we're there. Talk then. Bye-bye.
I chose today mainly for its conditions. Very calm day, just so you can have a bit of a notion of the game plan going in here. Waves weren't high, swell was not crazy at all, tide was coming in, sun was setting down. I've got two of my major fishing factors there, the tide and the status of the light. So basically, I've talked about this a million times, you guys are sick of it, but sunrise, sunset, great time to go. That simple. Tide, rising, falling, perfect time to go. Slack tide when it's in the middle and it's not doing anything, bad time to go. But today I'm using some black lugworm here. That's what I'm showing here on the camera. And that's what I used for bait today. It's the first time I've used just black lug. Now, I'll be honest, I've always used it wrapped up in squid and whatever, but for some reason, I just can't get my hands on squid here in my local area. Just don't have them. They have loads of mackerel, but just they never have the squid in. So that was my first cast there, and this actually ended up being like a very interesting session actually. Little interesting specimen fish that I caught there. I'm sure you guys will see it at some point in the video. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys are getting out and taking advantage of this nice weather that we're having now that all the storms have subsided. Everything is kind of blown over now, hopefully, at least for the time being, and we can start getting ready for spring and the nicer weather that's going to come with it. Hopefully a little bit of trout fishing and everything else, and you can have that to look forward to here. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Hello. We're about, I think half an hour in at this point. Niche. Absolutely niche, but it's alright. We'll keep on trudging down. I'm guessing that through the first actual parts of sunset, which will be in about half an hour, we'll start getting a small pickup, and if we don't, I'll just leave it. Simple as that. Something I wanted to touch on very briefly was how opposed I am to the notion that if you just spend more money, you are going to outfish the guy next to you, with the main general kind of outstanding one of these being Graham Pullen with the Totally Awesome Fishing channel. It was actually his channel that inspired me to want to go do a bit of YouTube. Whether how successful or unsuccessful that has been, only time will tell. But I was always confused, especially when I started out looking at it, as to, how Graham, this, masterclass fisherman who's been fishing donkey's years, was putting up videos of it on the VCR back in the day and distributing that and writing the books on it and everything else. How or why somebody like him would choose, so many cheap rods and reels and so many dinky little things and then just go out and fish with them. And I always thought there was something, maybe he's just always been a very frugal guy, or maybe, what have you, right? And me and my friends always used to joke, because we did the PVC pipe thing that he talks about. I'll put it up on screen now, but he did a PVC pipe beach, like kind of rod holder. We were always confused, like, why would you not go out and spend the 10 quid or spend this or spend that, or why is his reel like this? He could be getting, I was always thinking this, why is his reel so old? He could be getting better casts with this, or, why does he bother doing this and that and this and that? And I was like, I'll just go spend all the money I can on all the best kit I can, and surely that'll work. And I've got to say, no. Graham has always been very, very honest in his channel. He'll just post whole videos where he doesn't actually catch any fish, and he'll end up going to the tackle shop and talking about BB guns or whatever. And in that same kind of vein of honesty, I started my own channel and then ended up recording so many sessions, but I never actually uploaded the ones where I didn't catch anything. Hopefully this won't be one of those, but you know what I mean. The point I want to get at is, despite my equipment costing a lot of money, all of it put together is a bonkers amount of money for me personally. If you're some millionaire watching me, this is a penny in the ocean, a drop in the ocean, I should say. But the point is you really, really don't need a big expensive kit to be able to catch good fish. And I think a lot of the time, unless you're making very criminal, basic level mistakes, you really aren't going to miss out on much fish either. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know I always talk about, get this and get that and get this and get that. But I'm just trying to show you guys the basics. And to be honest, even with the most basic rig, with not much stuff attached to it, you could outfish a lot of people who overcomplicate it. So it's a double-edged sword in that kind of way. And listen, I think there's a lot of the YouTube fishing channels that I started watching when I first started, in preparation to go record all this. Every single one of them was, plugging something. And that's, that's how you pay the bills and whatever. But I never found them really saying, hey, listen, like, you can just use any rod and reel. Hey, listen, you could just do this and you could just do that. And it almost felt as if, you had to buy, especially the American ones in particular. This is mainly who I'm aiming this at. The Americans are always like, well, you got to get the Bass Banshee 6 million, and you got to get out there on the water. You got to cast your bait caster with this kind of line and whatever to get those really big lunky bass. And I don't know, it just never really sat right with me, especially when considering over here in Ireland, just a little bit that way in the UK. All the main fishing people and all that, they use gear and rigs that look, older than me, and they are older than me. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a difference in the culture. Maybe their culture is just not as consumerist as theirs is. Maybe we just have I don't know. I don't even know what it could be. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. That's my little opinion on that. I think you really don't need to spend a lot of money to do fishing. And the people who are always encouraging you to spend more and more and more, and on their channels will always talk about, the newest best reel and the, how it fares compared to the other reel. I hope that's only useful for you guys every 3 to 4 years. And I hope people aren't actually listening to the propaganda that I heard and read that, you have to buy a reel for every season. I've seen American channels say you need to buy a reel for every season. You need to have a rod for every weather or fishing situation. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. And I hope none of you guys follow along the routes of what the Americans do and spend your whole life savings on the fishing stuff. In a way, I sort of did at one point, but I realized then and then I stopped. But sure look, sure listen. That's my 2 cents on that. Well, man, I've got to make a rule to reel in every record every reel in. This is brutal at this stage. Every single time it's like not a knock on the rod, nothing. I'm sitting here half an hour. What do I have? What do I have? I'll show you him now. Just clean all this weed off it.
A small little tiny word of warning. This is not the fish I thought it was in the video. I feel like a total idiot coming home now. But listen, you know, I never say that I'm the best in the world. But I was pretty sure it was a codling, or like a very small codling or something, just because of the whiskers. And then I kind of thought back, maybe it's a ling. After looking it up, I'm pretty sure it's the 5-bearded rockling, but it could be a shore rockling just as easy. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah, if any of you guys know for sure, please do leave it down in the comments. I was a little bit stuck on this one, but pretty sure it's a rockling of some description. They've plenty of them. Anyways, continuing.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a codling, a little baby cod. Huh? Isn't he gorgeous? With a little belly on him. It's a beautiful fish. Gorgeous little specimen. And we're gonna let him go. On one day he's gonna end up in your fish and chips. The stuff that's in all of your fish and chips is basically this guy when he grows up. So, bye-bye. Beautiful, gorgeous. And just so I can show you all, this is using the same 2-hook flapper rig that I talked about in my beginner's fishing guide. I think it's rigs, not jigs. I think it's episode 2, I believe. But what I'm using today, just to come back on it, is black lugworm. I'm gonna keep that old lug that I had on there that didn't fully come off. I've never really been too much of a believer in ripping all the bait off unless it's like completely gone, you know? In that case, then, you know, why not? But I don't see how, if I just add more extra lug on, that it'll scare away fish, especially with worms and baits that are very, very soft, just like this is. I don't think you're going to miss any bites. I don't think there's going to be any messing with you know, a little bit much black lug on. So that's what that looks like on the hook there. And my weight today, I'm using a big 8-ounce weight. I'm not even using a grip weight. They didn't have any left in the shop, so this is all I was left with. And actually, I'm very surprised with how that's casting. My rod is casting weight 250 gram. This thing is 225, I believe. That's what 8 ounce is. I could be wrong on that, but either way, cast like a flipping rocket, and I'm barely trying. So I'm gonna get this out again and hopefully see what we can pick up now.
Just thought I'd show a clip of me casting. Got her coming in very gracefully there. I've always had style and grace, but you know, we're just gonna, just like that, a little simple hoof over, not putting too much oomph into it, not whatever. I find as well when you're casting near the, you know, kind of the top of the casting weight of your rods, you feel you definitely don't need to hoof it out like you would something lighter, you know. Here I was even, you can see it's a very calm day, you can see kind of the surf kind of coming up there, you can see that waves kind of forming behind it. I was just casting in the trough just behind that, so didn't really need to hoof it out too far at all, and that's where I caught all these little rockling, now that we know, and not codling, but you know, geniuses made mistakes, you know. Anyways, the next part.
Now, he was not a big fish by any stretch of the imagination, but he was probably on there a while. By the time I had him pulled in, I was unhooking him there with the pliers. He was feeling very tired. He swam away nice and strong here, just into the surf. I let him down nice and easy and he's gone, but makes you think how many of them are out there. And he was wrapped up in a lot of weed, and he caused the bottom of my rig to be all weeded up, which is probably why I didn't get anything else after him. He wasn't strong enough, I guess, to move the line, but again, I don't understand how that could work because the rod's under tension and I'm keeping an eye on it. So, but listen, I've caught a little codling. That's my first ever codling, I must admit. I've never got a codling before in my life, so I'm very, very happy with that result. My rod seems to be bobbing a little bit, so happy days here. Gonna have a little celebratory cigarette. And watch my right, collect these bites, I suppose. I love fishing. There's one thing that I love. If there's one thing that I love eternally and forever and always, and can almost never be horrific, except for in January and December when it's freezing cold and you catch nothing, is fishing. There's nothing quite like catching a lovely fish, especially something I've never caught before. A little codling like that, little fat belly on him, little face on him, very cute, gorgeous. That's what it's all about. And also, like I've said this before, but whoopala, can't let you fall. If you watch my channel and you follow roughly what I do and all the guides I've spent time putting together, if you watch them, you will be able to replicate my success. There's no secret sauce here. I am basically pouring out the secret sauce. The only thing, forgive me for the burp, the only thing I could say that I have a quote-unquote secret sauce is my Angler's Compendium, which is my monthly little magazine that I write and include pictures in, where I talk about fishing. And I talk about things a little bit more in depth. But I've said this before that, you know, anything that I think is actually truly key and vital and important, I'll put it up here as well. So anyways, if you want to choose to support the channel, tiny channel, I know, free uploads, not terribly frequent, but it'll probably pick up now that it gets warmer. There you go. Anyone can do this. Apologies for that. Somebody was walking by and I still don't have, I think I've mentioned this before, I still don't have the YouTuber reflex to keep yapping away while somebody's just clearly looking at me like I've got 10 heads. And I understand, because where I am, it's actually a little bit remote here. And you definitely wouldn't expect somebody to be down here with the whole shebang and a fucking GoPro and a chair chatting away. Like, you know, I understand where that's coming from. But yeah, like I said, this is totally replicable for all of you. I've made my guides easy enough that if you know nothing, if you know literally nothing, you're totally clueless. I believe if you watch the guide start to finish, and on the parts that you're stuck on, you just take a note and look through the rest of my videos, you will be able to pick up everything I'm putting down and be able to replicate these results. I'm such a tips and facts machine, actually, and I'm so great at this, actually, that I'll give you one more. You can see the position of my rod there, and you can see kind of how it's taut and it's tight with the lead, obviously. Not too tight, but tight enough that I'd hopefully be able to see if something big struck it. Now, observe where I am. Completely to the side. The reason you want to do this is because obviously your rod is going to bend forward like that. And if you're behind looking at it, sometimes it's very subtle. It'll look like that. Or sometimes it'll just look like that. Meanwhile, if you're from the side, it's very obvious. I always sit myself to the side and just look forward like that. Also, make sure you sit yourself further back. You don't want to give yourself neck pain and all this horrible stuff while you're just... You want to catch... Fucking gone again. You don't want to give yourself neck pain while fishing. And trust me, I've done it before. For many, many hours when you just sit there and go like that. Like a dope. Just destroy your little head. So anyways. Another little tip for you. Like I've mentioned already, and as you can probably see behind me, the sun is slowly starting to set. I think it's officially sunset in about, what's that, half an hour? But I reckon it'll start to get pretty dark here in 20 minutes. I stupidly, even though I have every single piece of kit and the checklist and whatever, forgot my gloves. So it's going to be a little bit cold, but I'll stick it out for a while. Like I said, January, bit of a miserable month to start fishing, or the winter. The rod is talking to me, sorry. January, bit of a miserable month to start fishing. You'll be sitting out here in the cold, you'll be sitting on your arse for a while. You can kind of pack the spinning rod away. I think I've said that in another video, but... Sorry, the rod is very much talking right now. I'm going to give that another 5 minutes, and if that keeps wanking, if that keeps banging like that, I'll reel it in and have a look see. It's fucking embarrassing. But yeah, January, a bit of a miserable month to start the old fishing. If I were any of you, you're watching my videos from the comfort of your own home, which I hope you are, I wouldn't, you haven't picked up fishing yet, I've got a fish on. I've got a fish on. There's no way I don't. There's no fucking way I don't. It is small. I think it is alright. Oh yeah. What a movie, huh? What a movie. Show you this little fella. Another little codling. Gorgeous little guy. He's obviously wrapped up my line a bit, but fuck it. What can he do? Hooked in the side of the Med perfectly. Small hooks. I think I'm using size 8 hooks today. So, you know, definitely not a big hook at all. And I always prefer to use smaller hooks. I've talked about this before. I downsize the shit out of everything. And I don't use 1/0 or 2/0 anymore. I just keep them straight small. No aught, nothing. Just 8, 10, 12. This sort of range. Small hooks. Let's get this fella unhooked. Never caught a codling before, and suddenly it's 2 back to back. Hoopala, very lively. I'm glad to see it though. Just don't want to get hooked, so I take my time. Let's move you guys there a second. Uh-huh. Lovely little guy. Covered himself in the sand now, but nice little colours on him. Hello. He's gorgeous. Look at the little reflections on him. Gorgeous. Right, time to let him go. Hopefully I'll catch his big brother. I said this before, but I really like the black lug, I must say. Not having your hands stink is very good. All the worms are very good for that, in the sense that you won't have the stinkiest, mankiest hands. Because I'll tell you this, if you did the winter fishing with the frozen mackerel, it's a big, I'll get this out of my mouth. It's a big frozen fillet of mackerel. They'll fucking stink off you. You won't get that out. Let's hope that fella's big brother's out there. As you can see, I'm not trying for the crazy casts or penduluming or anything like that. I'm just chucking it out in the most simple way possible. Just feeling that follow through all the way through. Two reasons. One major reason is the fact that obviously this weight is about, what? It's 100 grams or between 75 to 100 grams heavier than what I normally cast. And that feels quite daunting, especially when you have it on the end of the line and you're concerned with all your terminal line and all the rest. So all your actual rigs and everything else. And then the other thing is, it's so cold. It's so cold, and I really am endorsed retying a new shock leader and all the rest and all the blah 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 and whipping out a new rig for him. I'd rather just, I know there's fish out there. I'm casting in the correct spot. I'm casting, just so I have you guys know. Here the surf is breaking right here. Behind that you can see the second kind of waves forming. And behind that then we have another trough. So I've spoken about this a couple times. First line of waves, first line of the surf, trough right between it, second line of waves right behind it, and then behind that as well you have more and more cascading lines of waves. Depending on the structure of your beach, as in the actual underwater structure of your beach. I think I'm onto another one, but oh no, he's tugging. Let's go. Oh yeah, no, he's on all right. It's a shame. I seen him fall off as soon as he got close. But all the bait's still there, the weight's still there. Time to give this a wallop, huh? Time to set it up. Even though I had one on, it still feels incredibly hasty to cast out, see the rod going and instantly pick it up. Learn from that experience a little bit and let them chew it down. If you're bait fishing, you're probably fishing with barbed hooks anyway. It's unlikely that he'll just come straight off. And yeah, I normally always let it sit a bit. I know I didn't catch it on camera, so you could say I'm a big liar, but I swear he was just here in this part of the surf. I could see him and then it was gone. So another lovely little sign is when I threw back that other codling. I'm not sure if it can be seen on the camera when I chuck him back, but right here in the shallows, straight away we had some sprats just kicking up a little bit. The really small little bait fish, very small, way too small obviously to catch or even use as bait. But all the tiny little fish there started kicking up as soon as I seen the codling. It's good, it means there's bait fish around here. And they're coming back, because I tell you, for a good part there, especially what was November, December, when when the day finishes at 4 p.m, there was I could just feel an emptiness in the water, and now we don't really have that. So I'm delighted. At least we have some life in. But let's check out the colors there. Lovely colors. The rod was talking a minute ago, but I'll let him talk away. I think now when I catch this next one, or this next reel in, I think that'll be my last one for the night. Because to be honest, My hands are dead cold. It's just purely the, you can probably see my hands are red. Red. I think I have bad circulation or something like that, so that's why my hands always go red, especially when it's cold. So we'll stick out here for the while longer. But yeah, like I said, very simple what I did there today. Any single one of you could replicate it, and hopefully I'll have another case study, another little codling as an example to show you. You don't even need to do a fancy cast or anything else that I've talked about. None of that shite. Come out here, show up to the beach, be here at a good time, look at your tides, look at your waves, have a little look-see. Sunrise, sunset. Can't really go wrong with that. Can't really go wrong with that at all. Especially now in winter when the sunrises and the sunsets are, well, the sunrise is much more attainable. You don't need to be getting up at 4 like I was during summer. You can just wake up at a normal time and just come down here. A lot of the sunrises now are like 10 o'clock or something, so you're fine, you're happy-go-lucky. But yes, right. I don't know how much is left on my GoPro, so I'll just shut it off for a time being, have another celebratory cigarette. Fuck, I'll be a chain smoker out here, I'll tell you what. And then I'll come back to it now in a jiffy. See you guys then. So it's been a little while. And I wasn't getting anything at all. And I thought that was very strange. So I went and checked and obviously had no bait. I think the crabs probably had a field day with my worm. But something I want to touch on very quickly. You can see my rod tip when it moves now in a second. It's basically just reacting to the tide. And the tide is obviously coming in nicely, right? And what that's doing is it's causing a lot more waves. And obviously then that's being represented on the rod. You can see it's kind of shaking a little bit here and there, here and there, here and there, while before we had nothing. And a good way to recognize this is it'll probably always be very rhythmic. As in, if you think that there's a very clear pattern to it and you can kind of identify that straight away. I've got the headphones on, sorry. I'll keep my ears warm. If you can identify the sort of pattern that's a little bit rhythmic, it's a little bit too samey, it's almost definitely the tide. So, especially if you're starting off, this will be a good one for you, just so you're not pulling in all the time and recasting 6 gazillion times. Just keep an eye if your rod is pulling in a little bit too, what should I say, repeatedly, too much along a certain pattern, because then you might be getting fucked up by the tide instead of any kind of fish or anything stupid like that. There you go. It's all good. I don't know what it is about this YouTube camera stuff, but like I have no social fear of anything ever. As soon as I turn the camera on, I'm like, oh, okay, I feel fucking weird now. Like, I won't take a selfie in a restaurant. I won't take, like, I know that's gay, but like, you know what I mean. Any other social stuff I have no problem with at all. I step over it, but Christ. See, that one there was a little bit less rhythmic. It was like when you get a dun, if you get 2 or 3 succession like that, probably a bite. I think I probably just had a bite there. But to relieve yourself of the anxiety of like, oh, will I pull it in now? Will I not? If you're not sure, and it's in that kind of middle phase where you're not sure you have fish on, or you're not sure what it is, stick a timer on. Timer will be totally impartial. I like to leave it long. Some people might say too long. You know, when I start getting questioned whether it's the tide or it's a fish or what have you, I just stick on a 20-minute timer. Put it, because the hooks are barbed, your fish isn't going anywhere. In 20 minutes time, more than likely he'll still be on. If anything, he might have even sunk himself deeper into the hole. Because sometimes you guys will have fish come off because you're pulling in as soon as you see the bite, and then obviously the fish has to swallow the hook. But if you just left that there indefinitely, a fish would take it and a fish would eat that, and that will get stuck in a fish's mouth. It's one of the reasons why I think it's very important not to snag. And then when the beginner video, I said, you know, don't snag, because you know stuff like that's going to happen. So you have a hook and a piece of bait on it. No matter how much of a shitty day you're having out here, the fish is going to have an even shittier day when you snap off with a lovely piece of fresh bait on there. And at some point that night, be it 8 or 10 or 12 hours later, some fish is going to see some bait going around the floor and eat it just like they would normally. And then they're going to have a hook and a load of plastic attached to their mouth, and they'll die. You know, not to be Greta Thunberg or anything, but you know, it's not great. So yeah, let's stick on a little timer. Your fish isn't really going to go anywhere. I use barbed hooks. I'm not a carp angler. I more than likely, almost definitely have a fish on now though. I'll show you what it looks like when you have a fish on. And this will be good if it's see, now it's gone back to still. But there's like a bump, 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 bump. There's like a, you can see even in like the micro jitters, which is my new word that I'm calling it. See, but now it's gone back to still. But I would have been certain there a second ago that I had it on. So, I'm going to take my own advice. Wait out my timer. You know, because, let's be honest, he's not going to go anywhere. 20 minutes time, what am I doing? If he's on, then I probably won't catch another fish on the same line. First world problems. You know, this is completely fine. But yeah, I can't wait to get home now after this. Have a nice hot cup of tea, something else. Very, very, very cold. I wonder if that fellow was caught on the camera. He's run by me now twice. And that's a crazy loop he's doing. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Gosh, I feel so... I should really be looking behind me. Some lady's greyhound, and obviously herself as well, just snuck up on me there. I was like, fuck, I could have said anything. Yeah. I'm glad though. I'm glad I don't have the YouTuber personality where I'd like stand up on a chair in the middle of a McDonald's, demand Szechuan sauce or whatever the trend may be now, whatever the newest, you know, get rich quick, get viral tomorrow, now. Gary V, post 12, you tell your wife you love her, that could be a tweet. That could be a TikTok. Fucking hate those people. Vapid, retarded social media fucking retards. They know literally nothing. And I hate that we even give them any value. I'm sure if any brand that you fucking like would come up on, would make a video and go, hey, listen guys, this is what we have. You know, kind of like how fishing shops do it. If you ever watch how a fishing shop will like show off the price. Hey guys, we got this in now. This is what it does. It's a pretty good price from us. What do you think? Works on me. I think I'm clever enough guy. Works on me. They put like, you know, nice little product on there. They say it's good, they say it's handy. It'll help you out. I go out and buy it. You don't need to make fucking fucking advertisements. Hate that shit. And the fact that they think that your space, your sort of mental space, can be clouded with thinking about their fucking dog shit product which serves nobody is okay. Even just the concept of advertising fucks me up. I have plugged my Angler's Compendium a couple times, but you know what I mean. I'm not, I don't know. You know what I mean. Gosh, it's nice and warm in this fucking pocket. I'll tell you that. You have the jack now, people. You keep being concerned. Somebody's just gonna stroll up on me as per usual. My little cigarette case. Leveling up. I got it when I ordered my trousers. Fallschirmjäger. Huh? Isn't that cool? I play them in War Thunder. Yeah, I think that's why I had that point earlier about all the advertising stuff and why I don't like it. I think what you see and what you consume every single day Now that's gotta be a fucking fish. Sticking to my principles, 10 minutes. But that was a fish. It's a fish on there. I have a fish on the end of the line. What am I doing this for? Oh yeah, to talk to you about something really, really important. I think the space and everything you consume and everything you see, you know, obviously that affects your mood, right? I'm not making some kind of massive philosophical point here, but the fact that we are bombarded with advertisements, and especially if you're a total normie, you go on home, you switch on the Sky Sports, you get bombarded with ads. Then during the football match, after the break, there's ads. Then they talk about other things, you know. The news media keeps you in a rage cycle, and your actual peace is disturbed. Your actual life is ruined by this stuff. And I know it's kind of hypocritical, maybe. Some of you might say that. Some of you really kind of intellectual guys might say that, you know, the kind of content that I produce is not exactly brain nourishment, especially my TikToks and all my short form. But at least I'm trying to be positive. I'm never talking down on anybody. I'm never saying I'm better than whoever else. Except for advertisers. I'm better than advertisers, 100%. If you work in advertisement and you make shitty social media TikTok ads, I'm better than you. I'm so good, I can't even light the cigarette, but you know what I mean. This is why you know, the whole point that I wanted to make like a social point when I started my channel. I've never thought I'd make a cent off this, and I haven't made many cents, but I've made a few. But the whole point that I wanted to get was teach people to go outside, teach people to come out here by the sea, teach people to have a little bit of a breath of fresh air. Something fun to do while you're out is fish. That's undoubtedly. I wouldn't sit here on the beach on my own for 4 hours. And if someone tells you they're doing that and they're not doing anything else, they're lying to you. It's like, I like to be out in nature. I just sit there in a field for 6 hours. It's like, nobody's doing that. It's fucking horseshit. But yeah, that's why I encourage people to get out, fish, clear your mind of all the advertisements, all the globo homo, non-stop bombardment of your brain with psychological operations. And, you know, until they can put big ads in the sky or, you know, ruin my sunrise, or, you know, I reel in a cod one day, it just says Nike, just do it on the side of my cod. You know, until that happens, I'm pretty happy out here. That's why we need to accelerate now. I'm joking, of course. Please don't accelerate anything. And also, I don't think I can even say that on YouTube. Doing bad and violent stuff is bad. Yeah. Somebody just walked by me. I'm glad I didn't say what I wanted to say. That's good news. Time to reel this in. I've almost 100% got a dogfish on here, so let's find out what the big idea is. 10% on the battery. Let's lock in. Way better than a dogfish. We have little flatfish. Now, some of you experts will tell me whether this is a sole, a dab, or what have you. But he's a lovely size. He's a nice fish, actually. Really, really pretty. GoPro's on 8% battery. I'm gonna wrap this up now with my little flatfish here, chilling. I'll let him chill with me here. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's fishing session. I hope you've been invigorated to come out now that the worst of the weather is over. And now the weather is picking up and it's nice again. And I'll see you all next time. God bless. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the Angler's Compendium if you like my stuff. That way you get something back in order for subscribing to me. If you click to donate to me through anything else, I don't think I'll be able to send a thing out. So on gumroad.com/thatis on the Angler's Compendium. Good luck and God bless. See you next time. Bye-bye.